In this video, we're going to show you how fast and easy you can set up ClaritySoft. During this presentation, we're going to show you how to customize the entire system, as well as import data for all of our accounts and contacts, as well as import a couple of price books that we can use to create quotations. All right. Currently, we only put one contact in the system, and we have no customization whatsoever. So let's get started. I'm going to come up here and hit the start on our stopwatch here and then start our customization process. So if I hit start, first I come to Tools, Customize, and the first thing that I want to do is add a new user to the system. So just simply click New and Sue Jones, and I want to add an email in there. And we'll give her a login of Sue and a password. And we'll say she's in sales, and we'll give her access to all of the applications in the system. Next, we're going to go to the account record, and the first thing we're going to do is add some categories, which will allow us to look up and track our our accounts by what category they're in. So the first category is going to be a status, and we'll import the values from the spreadsheet. The second category is going to be what segment they're in, so I can look up my accounts based on what segment they're in. Again, those values will come in during the importing process of all of our accounts. Next, let's add a custom field. And the first one that I want to add is the number of employees. So I can track the number of employees at accounts. And we'll make that a number field with no decimals. The next field will be revenue. So I can track revenue of my customers. Make that a currency field. All right, we're done with the account record. Now let's move to the contacts record. We also want to categorize our contacts. The first category is going to be role, so I can look up my contacts based on what role they play in the organization, and we'll import those from the spreadsheet. The second one is going to be what stage this contact is in. So we're going to be able to track lead stages, and again import that from the spreadsheet. Let's add a few custom fields, and we're going to add one called competitor, so we can track who we're competing against. And we'll make that a multi-select drop-down field, and we'll create one here. Alright, and we've added 3 competitors. Now let's add another field called users, and the reason for this field is we want to know how many users will be using our software. And we'll make that a number field with no decimals. And the next custom field we're going to create here is lead source, so we can track where we got this contact, and we'll just make that a drop-down field, and we'll say inbound call, outbound call, and website. Okay, and now we're done adding custom fields to the contact record. Next, let's move to opportunities. The first thing we want to do is add a couple of products for our opportunities. So we provide two services, a hosted service and an on-premise CRM solution. And we've added the products. Now let's add our sales stages. The first sales stage is the demo stage, and during that demo stage there's a 25% chance we'll win the deal, and the next stage will be the quotation stage, and once we quote there's a 50% chance we'll win the deal, and the next stage will be the upside stage, and we'll say it's 75% probability that we'll win that deal, and we want that one to be included in our forecast. So we'll click that box. The next stage is going to be the commit stage, which means we're pretty sure we're going to win the deal, and we'll say that's 90%, and we also want that one in the forecast. And then finally we want to add a closed one, and that's 100% probability we'll win, and we'll mark that the one stage. And the last one will be closed, lost, and that's a 0% chance, and we'll click the stage equals a loss, which means it'll move it to the lost bucket. Okay, and finally we want to add some lead sources for our opportunities. So we'll just add a few here. And we'll say website. And now we're done with the opportunities. Now next we want to move to quotations, and all I'm going to do here is add a few terms. So we'll just say net 30 and net 45 and net 60, and that's it. So we can, those will be included on the quotations record. And finally, when we're doing activities and keeping track of all of our activities, we need to have some activity types. So what things do? We make calls, we do tasks, we send email, and we do demos. And we have now finished customizing the entire system. So now let's go up here and import some products and services. And find the spreadsheet. There they are. There's our 2 price books we just imported. It's very fast. Hit OK. Tools, Import Wizard. Now let's import our accounts and contacts. Browse out there and find those, that spreadsheet. First we import accounts, then we import contacts, and then we hit OK, and it takes roughly 1 minute for this to happen. While we wait, let's look on the right hand side over here. As you can see, you can see all of the custom fields that we've added to the contact record, and once we finish importing these records, I'll open up a contact record and show you how those are displayed in that record. Also, if you look up here in the upper left hand corner, this is the lookup area, and you can see role and stage, where I had spoke earlier about our ability to look up our contacts based on what role they play, or what stage the lead is in. And you'll notice in just a moment here that the values that we can look up by are being imported currently in the spreadsheet. So we should be almost done here. All right, let's stop, and you'll notice that that little pop-up warning there basically told us that we imported duplicates of the accounts, and so it just sort of sorted them out and didn't import duplicates, which is kind of important. All right, so now let's look at what we've done. In less than 7 minutes, we have completely customized the system. We have imported products and services and 2 price books, and we've imported all of our accounts and contacts. So let's take a look at what we've got here. So if I click on this record here, we can look on the right hand side, and we've got all of our records there. We can open it up, and we've got all of our custom fields that we've added. We've also got role and stage right here. All right. Remember, I want the ability to use the role to look up all of my, for example, contacts who are in an owner role. There's all the owners of the owners in my system. I can also go to the stage and say, show me all of my new leads. And there's all my new leads. And we can also do things like this. We can right click on all those new leads, select all of them, and then send them all an email. So again, in less than 7 minutes, we customized the entire system. We imported a price book. We imported our accounts and contacts, and we're ready to start using the system. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.